Within the Batman, I want to talk about style. Specifically, the different moving pieces that the filmmakers use to get the end product, other films that they've been inspired by, and also to wrap it up into what I want to use from these different films in my own work. So for one, I want to talk about how they kind of went for a more vintage style. The director, Matt Reeves, and the cinematographer, Greg Fraser, definitely took inspiration from older, I'll say like 90s to 80s thriller movies. So for one, which is like the most obvious inspiration, I'd say is a callback to David Fincher's Seven, which they took a lot of inspiration from, not only within the story, but also in the look. It's documented that they used older lenses to get a dirtier look on the frame, and also there's definitely that kind of tinge of like a grunge that really makes Gotham look like Gotham within the movie. The next thing that I feel like is very different about this movie is the VFX. Now, most superhero movies that you'll see today use a heavy amount of VFX within it, and the Batman does too, but in a different way. Essentially, they use LED projection walls to simulate the look of Gotham, which allows it to feel real without shooting on a site in a specific city or place. So, like in The Dark Knight, how they just shot a lot of it in Chicago, which I feel like is a really interesting way to kind of make a superhero movie and really gives Gotham a chance to look like it, how it does and should look based on the comics, in which I feel like is pretty interesting. And to relate it back to how I kind of want to make things, I really enjoy the way that they took a lot of moving pieces, which is like, for one, the VFX, the LED walls, the older lenses, the dirtier looks, and also kind of how they call back to specific pieces of media, and basically liken that to like what I want to do. I really want to focus on storytelling, specifically in how the series tackles Afro's realism through its episodes, pulls and takes from the crew's real-world experiences, and develops smaller ideas into full-fledged episodes of the series. A good example of this, I feel like, is Teddy Perkins, an idea that started out as a smaller thought that Donald Glover had about how terrifying it'd be for a person like this to exist in its kind of more horror-esque way. It was an idea that was developed throughout the making of Season 1 and eventually made its way to Season 2 as a full-fledged episode. I like how it kind of takes a smaller idea of this horror, kind of vibe with this character and kind of expands it into other themes, which is kind of the theme of selling yourself for success in the music industry, which we can see through a lot of people that have passed in the music industry in general. And I kind of want to take that idea and put it into my media in the way where I want to focus on real-world experiences I have, kind of develop the idea into something more real that feels more tangible in my art. I feel like I can also relate to this sort of way of developing an idea because I feel like in my pieces that I've made in the past and what I'm making now, I kind of develops as a smaller idea that expands and grows throughout my time working on it, working on other things, and kind of how it all evolves in the end. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
I'm glad you're alive. I was a little worried. I thought it was a documentary.